Hey everyone, it's Emmanuel here, your certified body code practitioner, certified group energy facilitator. And I wanted to make a really short video for those of you who are dealing with some form of grief. And I want to keep this video super short. Typically I do 15-minute videos, but I know our attention span's not that long anymore. It used to be. But I wanted to first of all send my condolences to you if you're dealing with some type of grief, whether it's the breaking of a relationship or whether it's someone passing away. My heart goes out to you, number one, because I've been through that, not only with past relationships that I've had, but also with my mother who passed away back in 2011, an amazing angel of a mother named Maria. And she passed away with pancreatic cancer. And it was very, very hard for me. It wasn't an easy thing. I didn't know about the body code back then, so no one really helped me with my grieving process. However, grief could be a bad thing, but it could also be kind of a positive thing. And I want to kind of tell you the positive first, and then how can we fix the negative? If you're having trouble trying to get over that hump of finally letting go of someone or letting go of a relationship or someone passed away, let me kind of help you out a little bit. So on the positive side, S. Michael Wilcox, who is an amazing author, he wrote a book called Sunset. And he said that grief is the completion of love. And what I mean by that is that, and how the author describes it, is that when you're missing someone, longing for someone, and you notice the small mannerisms that maybe you hated in the relationship, but then all of a sudden you've come to adore it. So it seems like when someone is gone or you're grieving someone's death or something like that, that it seems like the little things that you took for granted now become big things. And you learn to even go on a higher height of loving that person even more. So by grief, it's actually a way of expanding and finishing the love that you had for someone. So that's the positive side, because then you get to go deeper to feel the love that the relationship was really supposed to bring. The negative side is, I believe, because we produce grief, our bodies, actually our temples produce grief. Depression, anxiety produces it. These are meant to be teachers. These are meant to swim or tread, but not to drown in. I always tell my clients, I'm like, our emotions are just teachers. They just teach us certain things. Please swim there, but don't drown there. But the way that it drowns there is because you may have other emotional energies that may be bothering you, or you might have inherited stuff or absorbed stuff. If your great-great-great-great-grandfather dealt with some form of death, there's a likelihood that inherited sorrow goes to your body. And when you experience a death of something or someone, then you start feeling it heavier than everyone else for some reason. So what I wanted to share with you guys is a very simple way on how to assist you in this area. Again, I'm gonna try to keep this under 5 minutes. So the first thing is do an attunement session. So what does attunement mean? Attunement is a word that you want to keep in your vocabulary. Is whatever statement you want to make, you can actually create. You can actually muscle test. If you're not familiar with muscle testing, then just YouTube muscle testing and self muscle testing. You can check the percentage of how much you believe in something. Dr. Bradley Nelson, who's the founder of the Emotion Code, once said that everything that's wrong with your life is just an energetic misalignment. So what it means is that you can check certain statements and you can change how you feel about a situation. In what psychologists would call neutralize, which it's hard to do with talk therapy because they're technically just resurrecting emotions you feel. With energy medicine like the body code, you're actually extracting. It's an extraction process. It's not a talk about process. It's a real releasing of a certain energy the size of a tennis ball to a cantaloupe. So, for example, you can say an attunement of like, I have complete peace with my mother passing away. And you can muscle test yourself to see how much do you believe that. In fact, in the comment section below, if you'd like, you can say, maybe there's some area where you're still grieving. How much peace do you have with it? I can do you a favor and muscle test you, if you give me permission, your percentage of how much you actually believe that. And then I can move it. Maybe I'll pick somebody at random and move it to 100% to help you. But this happened one time with a lady that is a very successful businesswoman. And in 2 weeks, she experienced two grievances. Number one, a baby passed away in the parking lot near a school, and she was like very close proximity to this baby. And that traumatized her. That was the grief of a random baby that passed away very close to her. Number two is her friend was murdered. And she found out later on that it was a murder. It wasn't, she was missing. Very traumatizing to events. So guess what I did? I did an attunement. I have complete peace with this baby, complete peace with this friend passing away. Long story short, she went from going dark on Facebook and not, communicating and doing her business to the next day completely just as if nothing happened. So we allowed her body to fully process what she went through. So isn't that amazing? And then all I had to do is use the body code, remove the specific energies that are affecting her to not believe it 100%. And then once you do that, give it about 2 days, you're processing. But the third day, I double dare this person to reminisce on this grievance and see if they feel a lot more peace, more lighter, more joy. It's almost like they're watching a movie. They're not in the movie anymore. That's number one. Number two, I recommend this thing called an inner voice scan. My wife is in charge of this technology. If you don't know what that is, then, comment below, what is inner voice scan. My wife may be able to give you one, but it's a way for you to test to see what emotions you're overusing and which ones you're suppressing. During that time, very real time, in the morning when you wake up, you may think about that grief that you're dealing with. And maybe the next day you don't. You're kind of up and down. Some people don't feel it every single day, or they feel it stronger one day, some day they don't. So by your voice, you have over 8,000 frequencies that come from your voice. You can record your voice, send it to my wife, and then she'll basically be able to tell you which emotions you're overusing and which ones you're suppressing. And the goal is to get you to listen to these binaural beats that balance your brain so you're able to go back to emotional homeostasis within less than 15 minutes. So imagine you're listening to this morning and night while you're still healing from the grieving. And on top of that, you did an attunement. Those are two powerful ways you can heal from grieving. And that's my wish for all of you, is that that you find a way that there's these tools around you that we use, that it's common in my house. It's not, should I use that, or is this going to work? I've used it with so many clients before that it could really help you out. And so hopefully this adds some value to you. Maybe you now know what attunement means. Maybe you know, like, oh yeah, inner voice, real time, how I'm feeling in the morning, how I'm feeling at night can be very different. What if I scan my voice and put myself back to homeostasis while I'm going through the grieving process? So hopefully these 2 tips gave you some value. Again, this is Emmanuel here. Feel free to comment below what kind of stood out to you, or what catches your attention, or maybe you want me to check your percentage of how much peace you have with something, and I might pick someone at random to kind of help you out and get you to 100% to help you with your grieving. So, and tag anyone that you feel might appreciate this message, because I know there's a lot of people, there's some area in your life where you feel some grieving, and you don't have to do that for years or for months, when you can kind of quickly go through the process so that you can go back to life again. So with that, everyone have a blessed day. We'll talk soon.